Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Basically the reason why I'm vlogging is because I wanted to document my whole second prep process. I wanted to do it last year for my last prep, but I never got around to it. It was so manic. Prep circumstances were a little bit difficult and I was stressed out so much last year that the last thing I wanted to do was to record videos. Because I've got some big goals this year, I wanted to vlog the process, and there was a really sweet girl that reached out to me and said that she wanted me to vlog it, and I'm not just saying that, she did. So yeah, I thought why not? I gave it a good go at the beginning of my prep 4 weeks ago. And I was using my own digital camera and it just wasn't recording great quality. I tried editing some videos and they came out such poor quality, so I thought I will nab the boyfriend's DSLR and use my ring light and do some proper vlogs. It might be more kind of sit down chats with me. You're gonna have to excuse this one because he probably will try and attack me mid-video or try and leave the room and I'll have to get up and let him out, but we shall see. I've made some notes on my phone. I did my first ever bikini bodybuilding competition last year. In March, and I did the PCA first timers show. I started my prep in the September of 2018 and it was a 26-week long prep, so pretty long. And the coach I had, great guy, but hadn't had experience in prepping someone else, and I did know that going into it, but it did turn out to make it a lot more stressful because I was often second guessing everything he said. Whereas at least if you go with someone experienced, even in those really deep dark times where things are really tough, at least you can kind of tell yourself, okay, they know what they're doing. It is partly my own fault for choosing them as a coach. It, you know, no bad fallings out I had or anything like that. It just, I didn't get the condition required. I was still tiny, but for stage lean, for anybody who doesn't know much about bodybuilding, it is very different to just being skinny. So it was really tough stepping on stage knowing that I wasn't lean enough. My goals for the last show weren't to actually win. I know it's a competitive sport, but for me it was more about getting on stage, that kind of fear of being in front of a big crowd. And I wanted to just really push myself through the prep process to prove to myself that I was stronger than I thought I was. And I felt like I just needed to do something. Not that you should do bodybuilding just for this, but I felt like I wanted to prove to myself that I could stick to a diet plan for X amount of months. I could go to the gym even in those days where I really didn't want to. And I definitely came out a lot stronger mentally. I remember being stood backstage and then being like, right girls, line up, you're about to go on. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, there is no way that I can go on stage right now. And I was like, I've shared so much on social media, my family have supported me so much through this, Tom, my boyfriend, has supported me so much through this and dealt with my hissy fits that I can't not go on stage. So I went out there, and the first bit I hated. Like, it was the comparisons where you go into like a line of girls, and I hated that because it was that first half where I felt really petrified. I felt really awkward because to begin with I was kept right at the front corner whilst the first girls were compared, and I remember thinking, oh my god, I must look so awkward stood up here. And looking back at the photos, I just remember thinking, put on that fake showbiz smile, and it obviously kind of worked. And then the bit I actually enjoyed more weirdly was my eye walk. I remember hearing my family and I had friends screaming my name, and it was just the coolest experience. And when I came off stage, I remember just bursting into tears when I saw my stepdad, and it wasn't because I was upset, but it was this weird feeling of like relief it was over, kind of, I don't know, pride that I'd done it, and the adrenaline, and it was just a weird mixture of feelings. I at first didn't think I'd compete again, but after a few weeks, a few months thinking about it, I was like, I have to do it again, but this time I want to reach proper condition. I want to go on stage and be competitive. I don't want it to be so food focused this time, and I actually want to enjoy the process a lot more. Last year I think I got it in my head that it was going to be painful, it was going to be tough, and yes it will, but I think I was focused so much on the negatives at times, but it was almost like waiting for it to be over with, which is totally the wrong way to think about it. I binged after the show. I bought loads of treats and filled a box full of goodies, which Chris, my mate from the gym, told me not to do, and I obviously didn't listen. And it was the worst thing I could have done. I did give away a lot of it, but then I also ordered like shit tons of cakes and stuff like that, and I think because a lot of like family birthdays and events were after it, I then on those days ate loads, and before I knew it I'd ballooned right up to over my start weight, which my start weight before my last prep wasn't a comfortable weight for me anyway. I'd kind of undone all the hard work, and you're not meant to maintain stage lean, but the fact that I'd gone so much past it was just, yeah, it made me feel like crap. After my show was done and I thought I wanted to prep again, I was like, right, who am I going to go with to coach me? And I got in contact with Jake Rayleigh, who has done loads of different competitions himself. He's prepped loads of people, and actually has a lot of knowledge in bodybuilding. I got in contact and told him what my plans were. For me, I like to have a kind of more friendly relationship with a coach. Yeah, I'm better if I can at least talk with them in a more friendly way. I started with him I think in April or May. So my show was the 31st of March 2019, and I started with him in like April, May time. Our main goal initially was to get my period back because I'd lost it from the November 2018, and I didn't get it back till probably the November, October, maybe 2019. So I'd lost it for a whole year, and Jake was really supportive and was almost excited as I was. Like, it was nice to have someone that I could text and be like, oh my God, it's come back. Because for me, I don't care if anyone's like, oh, periods, whatever. Like, that's a crucial part of a woman's health, and the fact I'd lost it is inevitable when you're kind of getting that lean. No. We're just on our 6th week. I started at 73.9. I had my lowest last week of 71.8, but then my period came and I shot up by 2 kilos. Some people do respond that way. My body responds in that way, and I get crazy water retention, and clearly it shows. Like, on last Thursday, I reached a low of 71.8. 2 days later, I was 74. That's 2.2 kilos difference. My issue, as Jake will know, is the fact that due to my crazy early starts with work, some days I have to get up at 4 a.m. I cannot get to bed early enough to get a good 8 hours sleep, because that would mean getting to bed for 8 o'clock. And if I've had work the previous day, I finish at 8. My calories started at maintenance. I had no cardio to begin with. Oh, it was just 10 minutes of an incline walk on the treadmill, nothing major, 10,000 steps a day. Now we are still on 10,000 steps in the 6th week, but now cardio has gone from 10 to 15 up to 20, then to 25. Just 4 times a week on my training days, and like I said, I'm on an upper lower split. And on my tracker, I always enter in what my work shifts are, so Jake can see ahead of the week, right, she's working on these days, so let's try and get her to train on these ones, so he can kind of understand where I'm at. I also enter in what part of my cycle I'm at, so he's aware of why my weight might have shot up. And my calories have been dropped by, yeah, about 100 calories. So nothing significant at all. Obviously, our kind of plan for my prep is to go up in terms of cardio and create the deficit that way, as opposed to dropping food. Because like Jake said, once we start dropping food, you can't kind of come back from there, and you're losing all that fuel. And I know that that's probably where my periods would start to kind of mess up or go, is when my food gets dropped. So for now, it's food staying the same as long as we can, but cardio is going to get more. So my cardio is 25 minutes 4 times a week. Something I learned from last year, and I tried to think about that time around but didn't stick with me, is that no one is forcing me to do this. And so far I've found recently I've got into a much better pattern of finding a click with my daily routine. Like, I'm not having to refer back to my tracker as much to see what grams of whatever my food is. I kind of know. Like last year, the biggest mistake, and I got into this really bad habit last year, was training super late at night. Like, some days I would train 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then I'd be home by like the middle of the night, and then if it was a day off the next day, I'd sleep till like noon or 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, it's fine, I can do that, but it's not ideal. It didn't help that I'd have like 13 to 15 different exercises. So I'd be there for about 2.5 hours just training, not even cardio. My training is just so much more fun. Like, it's more simple, but I put so much more effort in. I love it so much more. I've seen myself grow despite the body fat growth. I can actually see areas that have grown muscle-wise as well. The thing I've found already this year that I've done so much better is train earlier in the day. I'm in just a much more ideal place with my mindset. Really excited to see what me and Jake can achieve working together. I'm kind of trying to manifest winning or placing or something as much as I can. Like, I want to just do so much well. I'd love to get first call outs. I'd love to place top 3. And of course, I would love to win. But I'm not going to get that if I don't put the hard work in. So yeah, there's going to be tough times, but I just want it so much more this year. Having a coach who is a proper prep bodybuilding coach, I feel like I've got a reputation to uphold on his part. So like, I'm part of his team. I want to do the team proud. I want to do him proud. So there's that pressure, but in a good way. Check-ins I'm sending across on Saturdays every week. And then, so what I do is I send Jake my video check-in, I send him my photos or upload it onto our Google like shared account, and then he sends me it through usually like Sunday or Monday. And this week, no more changes still, because my weight dropped last week. We're kind of ignoring the fact that my period caused a crazy weight gain. So food is the same, cardio is the same, which is awesome. That's my little update of my prep 2020. If there's anything in particular you guys want to see, so thank you so much. If you could comment, like, subscribe, any of that crap, and yeah, just let me know what you want to see in future vlogs, and I will see you all later. Bye!